let the storm rage on. The cold never bothered me anyway. Hi there, I'm Tara Thomas, and this is the How to Sing Like a Disney Princess series. The song we're going to be looking at today is Let It Go from none other than Frozen. Now, before we even get into the song, I just want you to know that Frozen has been critically acclaimed, won tons of Academy Awards because of its difficult Broadway-like score. So just kind of knowing that if you are just starting out as a singer, you're sort of getting your feet wet, I would really recommend maybe trying some of the other Disney princesses in this series instead of jumping right into Let It Go. But nonetheless, wherever you are in terms of your ability, I have some tips that I think will help you get through this song successfully. All right, so the first tip for the song Let It Go is something that I call propel notes. And it's just something I made up, but basically what it means is if you were to look at the song Let It Go and map out where in the song it would be difficult to sing, because clearly it's a difficult song. If you mapped out where that happens in the song, and then you just rewound just a little bit to like the phrase right before the difficult section, I would call that phrase the propel note. And what that means is that phrase right before the difficult section is going to propel the singer to that difficult section and make it seem seamless, effortless, and not like it's sticking out as the hard section to achieve. A good example of this would be if you think about the song Let It Go at the very beginning, it starts off pretty low in Idina Menzel's range. The snow glows white on the mountain tonight, not a footprint to be seen. It kind of comes down. That part's not typically, difficult to sing. It's sort of low in the range. But when it transitions from the first verse into the chorus, don't let them in, don't let them see, be the good girl you always have to be. That note on have to be is the first time we're introduced to a higher note so far in the song. And so if you're sort of comfortable as a singer singing those low notes, the snow glows white, and you get into the have to be, it might sound a little strained or a little pushed. And so I would consider that to be the difficult part, have to be. And if I rewound a little bit to the phrase before that, then that would be my propel note. And if you play back Idina Menzel's version, that phrase, be the good girl, is in fact very much, it sounds like her propel note. She really does use it as a trampoline. It kind of sounds like her voice is on a trampoline. And she's really pushing that phrase, be the good girl you always have to be. And by doing that, be the good girl, it's almost like she's waking up her diaphragm and preparing it for the note have to be, and then she can kind of throw have to be out there, and it doesn't sound like it's difficult to strain for her to get to. Another propel note example would be the section right before the second chorus. So that second chorus should have more power, and leading you into that, which could be a difficult section for you, think of the phrase right before it, I'm free, as your propel section. So she goes, I am free. And on that held note, even though it's a held note, think of the word free as constantly moving, almost like a car, and driving you into the let it go. And so while you're singing it, if you think actively as though your word free is moving, you'll get through it a lot easier, and it'll propel you to that let it go moment, and it'll really highlight the song a lot more for you. So she sounds like this. I'm free, let it go, and it really does drive you into that chorus. So I would say I'm free is another propel note. So the next tip that you're going to need to use in order to get through this song, Let It Go, is keep your belly loose. Particularly when you get to those difficult sections in the song, you want to make sure your belly is not tight or tense at all. If this is the first time you're really trying this, I would even encourage you to stick your stomach out. Be conscious, and when those notes come, force your stomach out a little bit. What that's going to do is it's going to combat and fight your tendency to tighten and strain. A lot of times when the body feels like a difficult note is coming, you can tense up and use what's called compensatory muscles, which are muscles that overcompensate for the lack of ability. So you never want to tense up your shoulders or tense up your throat to try to reach for those notes. And the other thing that gets tense a lot of the time is the belly. Well, if you loosen the belly, what it does is it activates your diaphragm and reminds you that the notes don't come from up here, no matter how high. They come from down here. So let's say you're singing, I'm free. You want to make sure that your stomach is loose. I'm free. And you'll notice automatically you're able to get that note out. It sounds effortless and it sounds a lot better. So the very last tip that I can give you for the song Let It Go is you control the song. The song does not control you. I know that seems kind of a weird concept to think of it that way, but really, a lot of times singing is all about your mindset. If you approach this song, let's say there's an audience waiting for you to sing Let It Go, and before you even start, you're thinking, oh my gosh, this song is really hard, it's really difficult, am I gonna make it to the end? You're already kind of defeated. You already have this defeatist attitude that's not going to get you through the song successfully. Now, I don't want you to mistake control for a lack of excitement. Think about the bridge, for example. The bridge is very exciting. My power flurries through the air and through the ground. I mean, there's so much anticipation. She's building this beautiful castle. And so the audience should feel like the song is getting more exciting because it is. However, you are creating that excitement. You are not going to sort of be hanging on to the song while the song is driving you. Instead, you exuding that confidence will be able to get through the song better if you have control the entire time. And the last little tip I want to give you is make sure that you incorporate all three of these tips to really help you throughout the whole song. A great moment in the song where you can really use all three tips is the rage on. That on, let the storm rage on, is the climax and pinnacle of the song. And so we want that note to sound impressive and exciting, but we don't want it to sound strained and pushed. So first, what I want you to do is use the first tip, propel note. Your propel note for that word on is rage. So you're using let the storm rage, and let rage really rage you into the word on. In fact, use the G in rage to say the word John. Let the storm rage on. The second tip, keep your belly loose. Let the storm rage. Make sure your stomach is even maybe pushed out a little. And then the last tip, you control the song. You are the diva. You are Elsa. Do not let that song, or that note for that matter, control you. Let the storm rage on! And it'll really come out. I'm really excited to see and hear some of your Let It Go attempts after watching this video. So please post anything you think you want me to check out and see. I'd love to comment and give you some tips if you'd like further instruction. And always subscribe to my page. I appreciate everything. I appreciate you for listening. And remember that we're all a princess inside.